Hey, my name is Donna Spivey, and this is my EDL 853 Module 1 personal introduction. All right, so just a little bit about myself. I currently teach first grade at Pleasant Hill Elementary School in Lexington, South Carolina. This is my 15th year of teaching, and I have taught in kindergarten and I have taught in first grade. Most of my years have been in first grade, but I actually got the pleasure of teaching kindergarten last year and then looping up to first grade with my kindergarten class. So that has actually been an experience that has been great. And tomorrow is actually our last day together, so I'm a little bit sad to see them go. Just the growth that you see in students over 2 years, kindergarten and first, is just phenomenal. But anyway, I currently hold an early childhood degree from the University of South Carolina, a master's degree in divergent learning from Columbia College, and a Read to Succeed endorsement from Coastal Carolina. So all teachers in the state of South Carolina have to have that Read to Succeed endorsement on their teaching certificate, and I'm glad to say that I am done with those classes. I have 2 classes left, though, in my education administration program at Fort Hays State, and then I will start my internship hours because that is something my state requires for educational administration. I have been married for 13 years, and I have 2 boys who keep me very busy. The Christian is my redhead, and he is 10 and going into the 5th grade, and Bryson is 6 going into the 2nd grade. And just some hobbies that I have when I'm not teaching or taking classes. I do love decorating cakes. I have a little business that I do outside of my home in my free time. I love running. I love being out on the lake with friends and family, and just love watching my boys play baseball. That is my um, most favorite thing to do. All right. So, just a little bit about the school district that I work in. I do work in Lexington School District 1, and we are the fastest growing school district in the state. We actually rank 6th in total enrollment. So, we have more than 26,000 students from pre K to grade 12 in our school district, and we are growing tremendously every year. We also have more than 3,000 employees within our district, and that's not even counting substitutes. So we have 30 schools, 17 are elementary schools, 7 are middle schools, 5 high schools, and then 1 technology center that all of the high schools can feed into. And then world languages are taught at all levels within the district. Okay, so critical thinking. So this is my 2nd year within Lexington School District 1. So I'm still trying to get a um, feel and just a better grasp on the special education programs within the district. However, they're not different really than the school district I did come from. So I do know that we provide a free, appropriate, and public education for all students with disabilities. So any student between the ages of 3 and 21 definitely get that continuum of services that meet their needs. And we definitely want to see that in their least restrictive environment. So if we can put a child with special needs into a general education classroom, then that's what we want to do first. And then if that is not working out, then of course we would put them into a classroom where their needs are being met. Some of the services that we do provide within the district are nursing services, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and transportation. That are provided for those students with disabilities. We do have a range of students at my school who fall under that special education umbrella. And one thing that I feel when I think about um, the special education program at my school within my district, I do feel that teachers are just provided that IEP or that 504 plan and not given a lot of information about it. So the information we're given is limited, and there's not a lot of help with providing some adaptations to go with those plans. Um, I can maybe count on one hand where I have actually sat down with um, someone who has gone over the IEP with me or the 504 plan and really talked about what that student needs and what we were going to do to provide those needs. Um, we do have two um, cases in our school right now that I can think of that do that does affect me as a first grade teacher. One is a first grader who is partially blind. She is in a first grade classroom. So, I am constantly coming into contact with her during different parts of our day. Um, and so just being able to have a little bit more information on how I can help her, even if though she's not one of my students personally, but I still feel like I need some information on how I can help her. So when we are at recess or lunch or um, we do rotate sometimes through classes when she's in my class, if we've done a rotation, how I can help her and what are those needs for her. And then we have a case of a kindergartner who will be in first grade next year, um, where I know there's going to need to be a sit down moment where we talk about what kind of adaptations are good for him and what I can do to help him succeed in our first grade general education classrooms. All right, so just some personal critiques about special education. So, I have been teaching for 15 years. I have had many, many, many students who fall under that speech umbrella. Um, I have had one student who fell underneath the occupational therapy. So, in other areas, I have very limited experience, but I do feel like I am learning more and more every year. And I'm super excited about this class because I feel like I will definitely learn a lot more that I need to know as a classroom teacher and as a future administrator. Um, so I do feel that I'm very uneducated on some of those special education laws and regulations. Um, so hopefully, like I said, this class will help me learn a little bit more about those. And then I also do struggle sometimes with finding some adaptations and just some modifications for some of these special education um, students or these special um, circumstances where I need to have some different kinds of adaptations and some different modifications for those students so that they do succeed in my classroom. Um, and then again, like I do attend IEP meetings, I do attend 504 meetings, I do attend RTI meetings, which is our response to intervention um, meetings. But I definitely feel like I could learn and grow more in those areas. Um, so those are just some of my personal critiques about special education. So my proposed plan would be for myself would be that I need to have more training and just more resources so that I can implement those adaptations and some of those modifications that are put into place. Um, and I know those trainings and those resources are gonna need some extra funding, but and that will play a part in um, me learning and growing as a teacher with some special education, but I believe it's important to have those in place. Another plan would be just to do some progress monitoring on some students. Just monitor those student achievements outside of the special education IEP process, and then see if I can implement some of those adjustments into that regular education curriculum so that they do benefit. Another plan would be to just observe some instances of inclusion in the school and within other schools, possibly, and just to determine if students' needs are being met. And then the last thing is just to discuss some special education um, ideas and um, services with some school administrators, just to determine if some of these services and modifications are being provided for students. Um, so that concludes my personal introduction. And I cannot wait to learn alongside of y'all. And this is not an area that I feel like I am the strongest in. So I'm hoping to get as much out of this class as I can to put into place as, like I said before, as a classroom teacher and hopefully as a future administrator. So I look forward to working alongside each one of you.